Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard for yet another edition of Beneath Your Feet here on LOTRO stream. My name is Shoreless. What is up? It is Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday of the month. You know what that means. It's time for the Beneath Your Feet research stream where we're going to go deep. We're going to go autumnal. We're going to go to the angle of Mitheithel. I'm here on the lovely Treebeard server with Holm the Brawler. He's here to hang out with us tonight. Chat, how we doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope the fall weather is treating you nicely. And speaking of fall weather, that's precisely why we are here in Tornhod, the ranger settlement of the Angle. Because I woke up this morning and I said, oh, I have a stream to do tonight. Oh, what am I going to do? And so I got some great suggestions from my good buddies on our Discord Kin Chat. A few of you fine folks on Twitter gave me some things to think about. And, man, I got some great ideas. So I'm going to make a list of all the great things we're going to be doing for the rest of the year. We're going to be going back to the Shire. We're going to be doing another Inn special for the Inn League, I think probably around Yule time. We're going to hit up the Brownlands, but as I was driving around today, just taking my kids to where they needed to go, just admiring the beautiful fall foliage, the wind was whipping up, the cool air finally coming here to the greater southeastern United States. I thought, man, it is autumn. And what's more autumnal than the Trollshaws? Well, the Angle. So I've already done an episode on the Trollshaws a while back, so I thought, if we're going to go back to the Trollshaws, you want to know what? We're going to go to the Angle. It's a new-ish zone. I have not done an episode on this. It gives us plenty to think about. And it's, like I said, it's newish. It came out earlier this year, back in February. And I actually have not completed it on this character. So we're going to explore around. We're going to do a wee bit of questing. We're going to see what we can see. We're going to make some connections to various points in the histories of Middle-earth. And more importantly, we're going to have a good time. So I hope you guys are doing well. What are you guys up to these days in the Lord of the Rings Online? Are we having fun with the Fall Festival? I surely hope you are. I've been a wee bit undermotivated when it comes to the Fall Festival. I put in, I think, like 3 or 4 days on my main. There's just not a lot of new stuff. There's great stuff for cat lovers. And I have some stuff to grab from last year, which I did not grab. But short of that, it's just not a lot that's just zinging me. And I find the Fall Festival to be underwhelming. Not underwhelming. What is the word I'm looking for here? It's perhaps my least favorite of all the seasonal festivals, just because I could never hit a rhythm with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think with all the other festivals, I found a goodly rhythm where I can log in, I know exactly where to go, bing, bang, boom, and I got my tickets for the day. The Fall Festival, not so much, because I don't care if the Haunted Burrow is kind of cumbersome. And so is Wistmead, for that matter. Because, like, you can do the one where you drink the fog noggin that makes your screen all blurry, which is fine, I guess. Or you can go into the hedge maze, or the corn maze, which is real pain. Or you can muck about all the other original areas, which I don't really care for either. So Fall Festival is not my favorite. All of that is to say, I hope you're having more fun with the Fall Festival than I am. So, here we are in the Angle. Where in Middle-earth are we? So let's talk about this for just a second. For our regular LOTRO players and regular Beneath Your Foots. I'll come up with a better one, don't worry. This should be no surprise. We are in the Trollshaws, and the Trollshaws is particularly this area along the Great Road in between the Misty Mountains and the river Mitheithel, which we'll talk about more in a second. And in every map of Middle-earth, like if you Google it right now, you're going to find that the Trollshaws are really just this area to the north of the road. You guys can see the Great East Road here on that dotted line. And the Trollshaws are typically just depicted as being this northerly area. And this part of the game of Middle-earth has been in the game since launch. Naturally, I think everyone has a great Rivendell Trollshaws moment as part of their LOTRO career. There's nothing quite like coming through the Trollshaws and finding your way into Rivendell. It's really, honestly, it's truly a magical moment. Even though I've been playing this game for ages, it still gets me sometimes, just how beautiful Rivendell is, especially because they've done such a good job of maintaining it. But I digress. So the angle, which was added this year, kind of reset the zone. It gave the designers a chance to reset the map and some of the horse routes a wee bit. And it's really just this area here in the angle, get it, of the Mitheithel River, or Horwell, and the Bruinen River, which is right here. Quick note about what we mean by angle. So all you people who haven't done, middle school math in a couple of years, we're literally just talking about an angle, where the two rivers meet. It creates this, why am I in Moria? It creates this kind of, let's call it a 30-degree angle there. See what I did? 30-degree angle. And it's just that area in between the two. I did an episode on Egladil, and Egladil literally is the Sindarin word for angle. So let's have a look at that real quick. Maybe? Here we go. Yeah, so Egladil is this angle right here. You have the river Celebrant, and then you have the great river Anduin, and this little angle in between the two is called Egladil, and that's the main area of Lothlorien, where those fussy elves live and get drunk and sing hymns to Elbereth. Could be a lot worse. So the angle of Mitheithel is the same idea geographically, but it's just two different rivers. We're on the other side of the mountains, and we can see we're in between the river Horwell, aka Mitheithel, and the river Bruinen, aka Loudwater in the Common Tongue. And we can see that right here on the map. This is actually, we're literally at the angle. Let me make sure I got that right before I run my... No, not quite. Okay, it's not literally at the tip of the angle, because there's another body of water coming down from Weathertop here. I don't know if that's actually... I don't know what that is. It's another body of water. It's another river or something. I don't know if it has a name or not. But I don't think we can actually get to the literal point tip of the angle, so I think this is a good second place insofar as we can see the rivers feeding into each other. And I love that. I just love the confluence of rivers for some reason. I don't know. I just think it's cool. And, here's the confusing bit. When we get to this point of the angle where the two rivers merge, it changes names. It becomes the Grey Flood River, the River Gwathlo, the Grey Flood. So basically from here, Swanfleet on down, it becomes the Grey Flood River. Coincidentally, Swanfleet and the Gwathlo and this whole region here is going to be coming up in almost a month, with the Before the Shadow expansion, which is pretty stinking exciting because this part of the map has been empty for time immemorial. I've spent many a wistful moment in the Lonelands just gazing southwards here to the South Downs, wondering when I'm going to see it. And lo, we're going to be seeing it in about less than a month, like I said. All right, so that's our quick where in the world are we? You can see the fog. What do you guys think of the fog? I always find that kind of annoying. I think it's cool. Like, if we go back to the wells, like, I think we first got a good look of it here. And then it was like the world builders were just like, oh my gosh, check out this fog effect we got. And now every new zone has to have this fog effect. It's fine. It bites into my frame rate, but I don't mind. It's all right. There's a few areas I want to hit in particular, but we're just kind of going to take our time for the next hour or so and really get to know the angle and see what we can find along the way. Because I rushed through this area once on my champion, and like I said, I'm almost through it on this brawler, and it has some really great stories but it also, I mean, sometimes I just go too fast. So, like, I never pick this quest up. Let's see if this is at all consequential. Okay, this is kind of a crafting quest. We'll pick that up just in case we end up running around doing quests. What I want to do now... Okay, is this the actual angle? I think this might be the actual tip of the angle. Let's see. The point. Let's see here. Yeah, so this... Am I right? No, not quite. That's a different body of water that is coming down there. I don't know why I've suddenly become obsessed with this part right here, but we're going to find it. Okay, for those of you who are first-timers watching the show, this is... The subtitle for Beneath Your Feet is ADHD Happy Hour. It's just where I just get distracted and go off on tangents, which is why I need you guys to help me and direct me. So we're going to go track down the actual point of the angle. This is the river, or goodness, this is the village of Tornhod, which is really, I think, the second ranger settlement we've seen in the game. In the North Downs, there is Estelden, which is the sort of secret ranger base. And then there's some settlements around that, which presumably have rangers or men who are affiliated with the rangers living there. And this is the only other one I can think of, unless I'm forgetting one. And it's pretty interesting. It made me immediately think of... If you old timers may remember this, Born of Hope. And for those of you who don't know, Born of Hope was a fan-made Lord of the Rings film. Dadgummit, I'm about to eat this. Born of Hope was a fan-made Lord of the Rings film, which was some backstory on Aragorn, and if I remember correctly, it was his father, Arathorn in particular. And it starts at a ranger village that looks remarkably like Tornhod. You get the thatched roofs and everything. So I don't know if they took inspiration from that show or that film in particular, but it felt in a way that it confirmed what that show, was putting forward. That, like, rangers weren't just dudes roaming around in the woods, like they had homes and villages and things of that nature. Alright, so in our quest for the tip of the angle, which kind of sounds like a fun greeting we should start using. Tip of the angle to you. Tip of the angle, chat. Tip of the angle to you. We have stumbled upon a Region. We'll never forget those trees there, because you can only see those, I don't know what those are called, but you only see that shape of tree in Eregion and Rivendell as well. Alright, we're still not quite there. We're too far to the quest. But it's going to happen. Ooh, that looks like a long way down. But it's time to boldly go. Oh, catch me. Oof. I, for one... So, there is, for those of you who have not been keeping up, there is... Tomorrow's patch day. Huzzah. We're going to have a little bit of downtime. So, if you took the day off to play LOTRO, you're going to be sorely disappointed. We got some ghosties. And I believe the patch is dropping tomorrow, and part of said patch is an amendment to the falling damage. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's, I don't recall all the details. The wonderful Little Redhead and Athadil, who you guys may know from other Tuesday LOTRO stream adventures, are the sort of lord and lady of our Discord, and they're always being very kind and posting chat notes about the upcoming patch notes. And so I read it there. Can't recall the specifics, but I believe finally the falling damage effect is going to be less of a beatdown, and I'm quite happy about that. Alright, did we do it? I think we did it, guys. We've made it to literally the tip of the angle. Tip of the angle to you. Yep, we're off the map. And yep, here we are. I don't think I've actually been here before, so let's see. It's about what you'd expect. Very marshy. Like most other river intersections and angles in the world. Famous river intersections, famous confluences would include really the Nile. You got the Blue Nile and the White Nile in southern Egypt near the Ethiopian highlands, and then they become the Nile River. Tigris and Euphrates, of course. So on and so forth. All right. Well, this was less this was less exciting than I'd hoped for, but it's okay. Let's see. Literally nothing going on here. But if we did go to the west a wee bit, we would find our way into Eregion, which, to my mind, brings us around to the main point of the sort of history of the zone. So as we make our way back from the tip of the angle, and I kind of want to go that way to see where it takes us into Eregion, but I must stay the course. We'll wander another day. Let's see. Where would that be? Anyway, if we have time, we'll come wandering back this way again and see what happens. That's El Galadwin's job. Her show is Wanderings with El Galadwin, so maybe she'll wander that way. Anywho, we see above us here this fortress, and we have to pay close attention to the architecture. And I'll tell you why in just a second once we make our way out of this bloody swamp and find our way back to Tornhad. By the way, Tornhad sounds remarkably similar to Thornhad. I don't know what those words mean. We're going to pass through some other ruins tonight where I was successfully able to figure out the Sindarin. Sindarin is not my forte. I'm not that kind of Tolkien nerd. But Tornhad, Thornhad, they sound almost identical, and I don't know what they mean. And my computer's getting really fussy, so hopefully we'll survive. Anywho, being a mannish settlement of derangers, I wonder if Tornhad is maybe a Westron name, but I don't know. And speaking of which, up here on the ridge, you can get a good look at these ruins. And if they look familiar, they should, because this is the same style of ruin that we see in the Trollshaws, and I believe in certain parts of the Lone Lands, and maybe even the North Downs as well. And this style of ruin has been used to represent the former kingdoms of Cardalon, and I think especially Rudaur. I'm not too sure if those are separate assets in the game or not. It'd be cool if they were. But anyway, that style represents the former kingdom of Rudaur, which was as I said, a mannish kingdom. So when we see ruins like this, they should remind us of Rudaur. But this was not the only kingdom that was a part of this region. Prior to the arrival of the Gondorians, the Numenorians, those of you who are watching Rings of Power, you know what I'm talking about. This area was occupied by the elves for a long time. And a lot of the forts, if you listen to or you follow the quest text for this area, or you, what am I trying to say? Or if you go on LOTRO Wiki, like I did, and read about it, you will see that a lot of the ruins that we're going to see in a second were really there as sort of way markers along the path from